my computer. Okay, so it's recording, and I got to take my little Siri out. Siri, set timer for 37 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 37 minutes.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to share with you something that I was taught years ago, and I would get rid of that little section over here to the right, but the last time I did it, I lost this. Oh, you know what I can do? I just thought of this. Let me just download this. What a smart idea, Debbie. Okay, yeah, that's it. Save it to my desktop. Save it to my desktop, because then I can show it to you bigger. But anyway, something that I was taught when I came into Tupperware is I was very fortunate. I came into Tupperware, I came into Tupperware a long time ago, and my leader, my Tupperware manager was, back then at the top part of, you could be, went from Tupperware manager to Tupperware manager to Tupperware distributor. And there were different levels. They had like a Diamond Crown manager and a VIP manager, and they had some different managers. And my manager was a top manager. I was very fortunate. I came from a manager that she was like the top 5 in the nation. And I watched her work, and she wanted to be a Tupperware distributor, which would be like being a Tupperware business leader. So something that Sherry, that was her name, Sherry Wheeler, she always said was, if you want to be at whatever level you want to be at, you pretend like you are at that level already. You don't wait until you get there. You actually work like you are there. Because then when you work like you are there, you're going to have success, and you're going to, you're going to, it's going to work for you, and you're going to already be used to what you're doing, because it's easier really to work like a leader, like a manager and a director. If you start out that way, go, I'm going to be that. And if you listen to April, who was on Sunday night, she said too, she was a Tupperware director in less than 2 years. She's a star director, which means she promoted a director. So like Mary Kistler promoted Tammy. So if she's in her Traverse, and she's been in for 2 years, but you know what? That doesn't mean you can't be there. And sometimes it's not, I really don't think becoming a director has anything to do with luck. I will tell you that sometimes a consultant can be number 1 for the month, and it could be luck, because she could have got a huge fundraiser, or somebody could have had a one big party or whatever. But to become a Tupperware director and get a free car, it doesn't happen on luck. It happens on focus and work in a plan. And so I'm going to be going over with you tonight, not how to be a manager, not how to be a star manager, but how to be a director. Because I'm going to share with you, what you need to become a director, and what are some of the things directors do, successful directors, when they're starting out. So one thing I want to mention to you is, first of all, why be a director? If you're taking some notes, that's great. One thing that a director does, when they're starting out, is they hold parties. They hold parties, whether they be Facebook, whether they be demos, whatever they do, they decide that I'm in charge and I'm responsible for my title. Your people aren't responsible for it. You are. So you can't expect, people to do something that you're not willing to do, and you have to realize that you're in charge. If Celebration had a bad year for some reason, you know what? I wouldn't go, that's because my managers weren't working. It's because my consultants weren't working. Nobody was doing anything. No, it's because of me. I will take full responsibility for whatever happens, because I am the leader, and so goes the leader, so goes the unit or the team. So one thing I would recommend is that you fill up your date book with parties. That's number 1. You want to have a full date book. And Tupperware's, you see over here on the right of my screen here, Tupperware's formula for a successful Tupperware director is welcome one new consultant one new consultant per manager each week. Now, are all these things going to happen? No, but you work towards them. So, so what you would do is, if I was going to say, hey, I want to be a director, well, maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me and my recruit, or me by myself right now. So my goal would be to welcome a new consultant to my unit, my team, every week, because you want to have at least one a week for your unit. So let's say, for instance, Tammy's on tonight. Tammy has 2 managers, so she would want to set a goal to welcome 2 consultants to her team a week. Now, some directors will also take into consideration there are some people when you're a director that are not in a manager's unit because you personally recruited. So Tammy has personal recruits. So she might say, my focus is to recruit 3 people per week for my team. So she would 3 times 4 weeks is 12 people for the month. So that might be her goal. The second thing I mentioned just a minute ago, a director does is they want to set a goal to hold 2 personal parties a week. And why would you want to do that? Because if you're holding 2 personal parties a week, at least 2, and it's good to date 3 because in case something happens to one, and if you can't do 3, have a new consultant that's just getting started. Have a consultant. If you're ever going to give a party to somebody, give a party to somebody that's recruited somebody because they have, they've shared their opportunity with somebody and took parties out of their date book because they might have got more parties from that, but it's better to have a recruit than parties. But you know what? If I'm going to dovetail, we call them dovetailing a party, I'm going to give it to somebody that's recruiting, somebody that's online, somebody that's congratulating people, somebody that's positive, somebody that knows what's going on. I'm not going to give a party to somebody that has no clue what is happening because I feel so bad for her because everybody's got a problem in her life. No, you give it to somebody that's going to do something with it. Or sometimes it's a new recruit. So, you know your people. So you want to hold 2 parties. Now, why? Again, 2 parties, if you write this down, 2 parties a week times 4 weeks is 8 parties. 8 parties a week times a $500 party average, and our party average is higher than that, is $4,000. Well, you're going to be a happy director every month when you know you are going to make a minimum of $1,400 just on your personal sales. So if you're selling $4,000, then you're getting your 25% profit, which is $1,000 of $4,000, and you get a 10% bonus, so it's $1,400. And yes, there might be some months you do more parties and there might be months you do less. But you know what? You want to set a goal to do as many parties as you can that you can do. The other thing too is if you're a manager and you're like, we have some people in our organization, I'm not calling out anybody or anything like that, but I'm going to share with you, we had a manager and I was talking to her about some of the people at leadership meeting about her. And her name was Bonnie Ludwig. And I don't think any of you know Bonnie Ludwig. But Bonnie Ludwig moved to Florida just recently and she retired. But Bonnie Ludwig, back in the day, back when I started, you weren't allowed to do a book party. You could only do, if somebody wanted to buy Tupperware, they had to buy it from a party, an in-home party. So things have really changed. But Bonnie would not do a demonstration. She would not stand in front of people. She was so nervous. She just didn't feel comfortable doing it, but she was so good one-on-one. And she worked so hard because, to do a book party, and even a Facebook party, sometimes people think, oh, it's not, it's real easy. Well, let me tell you, if it's easy and you're not doing a lot, you're not having success with it because if you put time into something, you're going to have success. So Bonnie was selling a ton, but what she would do is she always set a goal. She set a goal to hold 4 parties a week. Now she did do book parties, but she did have people that wanted regular demonstrations. Or she did do some walk-ins where she would set up for her hostess for a couple hours on a Saturday morning, and the people would just walk in and out having like a little store there because she felt comfortable talking to people one-on-one, kind of like a vendor show. But what she would do is she still dated regular parties. And S. Klopp, who unfortunately just passed away, S. Klopp did some of those parties because she would tell them, I'm not comfortable doing demonstrations, but if you want a demonstration, it's really great. And I have some consultants, they can do a party for you. So, so you can always dovetail some of those parties, and that's another party in your team. So what's exciting is as a Tupperware director, and write this number down, there's 2 magic numbers as a director. Well, there's actually, I lie. There's 4 magic numbers as a director. The first magic number is 10,000. And 10,000 is what every director, they want to achieve for the month in sales. So they're paid as a director. And so if you have 4,000 of the 10,000 in, now you only need $6,000. And if you take $6,000 and you divide it, and let's just say well, let's say your party average is 500. If it's lower, then divide it by whatever it would be. How much is that? Who can tell me? Is it 12? It's 12 Tupperware parties, I think. 12 parties. So you need all the people as a director in your team to hold 12 Tupperware parties total. If your people aren't doing a lot of parties, you might double it. You know, you set your goal. The other thing you want to do as a director, Cindy Turner has this goal, and Mary Kistler has this goal, and Tammy hasn't said she has this goal, but I'm sure she does. And it's to promote a new manager every month. Get somebody in your unit, your team, to become a manager. Because when you have managers in your team, then what's exciting is they're all trying to do really well. They all want to be paid as a manager. So they're all trying to achieve $2,500 in sales. So if you have 2 managers on your team and 2 of them sell their $2,500, that's $5,000. You sold $4,000, that's $9,000. You need $1,000 more. So you can see that, you know, so this but doing it every month. And Cindy, I think for the first 5 or 6 months of the year, she hit it. Every month she had a new manager coming out. So it's really exciting to have that set as a goal. And you know, how do you promote a manager? Well, I do want to mention some of you are not managers yet. One thing you want to do, and I'm glad you're on, because honestly, I'm beginning to wonder if I shouldn't start manager training at this level instead of as a manager, because you want to bring and share the Tupperware opportunity with other people. So to become a manager, of course, you need 3, just real quick, you need 3, because I'm not really going over that tonight, but you need 3 recruits that have sold $250 in the last 4 months. Okay, so they could have sold nothing this month, but if you add the last 4 months up, they sold $250. You need 500 personally that you sold 500, and as a manager, your whole unit, all of you need to sell 2,500. Okay, so that's how you become a manager. So this is really a great starting point. But the neat thing about it is, the nice thing about Tupperware is the training. As a director, you really are just, you know, there to inspire your people, there to ask questions, and you want to be proactive. You don't want to just maintain. You don't want to just get to the goal, be a director, and then just go, okay, this is where I'm at, and then start working on minimums. You want to always grow. And the neatest thing you can do in this business, besides make money, which sometimes I think we get more from than anything, is helping other people grow too, and helping other people have an income. So, but the thing that Cindy Turner, I keep talking about Cindy Turner here, but she did say these things, and it is so true, is that the neatest thing about parties is when you're doing in-home parties or vendor events or Facebook parties, the neat thing is you can invite your people to any of those things. And the best training they can get is watching you do what you do best. And if you don't do Tupperware part demonstrations, but somebody wants to watch a demonstration, again, we have things on Zoom and so forth. But also just by them holding a party, and there's so many demonstrations out there, there's just no reason for someone not to do it if they want to do it, because it's just like having a bunch of girlfriends over and showing what's new. Okay, so those are the 3 things: the 1-to-1 plan, 1 new consultant a week, 2 personal parties, and 1 new manager. Now, just to kind of review, this week and next week, oh my gosh, I'm super excited, and you guys are on here tonight, so if somebody else watches this, they might hear this secret too. The best time to bring somebody in to Tupperware in the first 6 months of the year is this week, next week, and the next week. So these 3 weeks are key weeks. Why would I say that? Because you want to recruit as many people as you can in the next 2 weeks to get that multi-cooker, which I used tonight to make supper. I mean, it is amazing. And the multi-cooker, they get that for, I believe it's $20 by just signing up. You get one too. Then when they have $500 in sales by next Friday, they get 4 sets of Fridge Smarts for $15, and you do too. Honest to God, if they were to do a party and let's just look at this a second. Let's say they did a party, and I'm not saying you can do it however you want, but if they were doing a party and it was at least $250, I would be, if you need activity, you need them to get active, it's up to you. That's another thing. Tupperware allows you to do it how you want to. Some people will do the grand opening and they do the party. What Tupperware has in their paperwork is, let's say I'm Deb Blank, and I do my Tupperware party with, let's say Barb's on tonight. Let's say Barb, I do Barb's Tupperware party What Tupperware says happens is I come as the Tupperware consultant bringing you in, or the leader or whatever, and then I make the profit and I turn the sales in just like I would. And you, Barb, are the hostess, so you would get the free Tupperware and you would get to experience what it's like to be a hostess, and all the parties that are dated would go into your date book. You choose how you want to do it. The way I do it is I invest in other people. I want them to be super successful. So there's two ways I do it. Number one way is I tell the hostess, the new consultant, that when they come into Tupperware, I am going to help them, and they're going to get to count the sales for their party. So if I come to Bar Mark's party and she has a $600 party and she's a new consultant, I do two things. Either, and it's just my feeling with that person, I do treat people differently. I'm sorry. If I can see she worked really hard and everything, and she did a lot of it, most of the time what I'm going to do is I'm letting her turn it in. I'm letting her make the profit. I will have her, maybe reimburse me for flyers and maybe that I mailed out, and maybe, the postage. But I let her turn it in, because now she's higher up in her Confident Start program. And the thing that I will tell you this, if you have any parties coming up and you can recruit the hostesses, first of all, if she had a $600 party, I would make $150, right? What am I getting if she sells $500 this month? I'm getting 4 sets of Fridge Smarts. I could take those 4 $84 sets of Fridge Smarts and make $320 by selling those 4 sets if I allow her to take that sales credit. So it's up to you. Now, what some people will do, there's other people who do other things. Some people will do this. They'll actually have whatever sales are got at the party. Let's say I'm at Deb Blank's party. It's her grand opening. She has $100 in outside orders, and I tell her, any orders you get ahead of time that people can't come, well, I don't even tell her this. Whatever orders she gets away from the party, she makes a profit on, and whatever orders I make at the party from the people there, I keep that profit. She turns it in. So you can decide how you want to do it, but I just want to let you know that as a leader, a great thing to do is help those people get started, because sometimes if they don't think they're making the money and they're not turning the party in, they don't work real hard to get more orders, unless, of course, they get double credit. That's a good thing. Okay, now, so those are just some information. However you were brought in, don't look at the person. What they're supposed to do is keep all the profits. So if they didn't do that, they did you a favor. Okay, now, how do you become a director? I want to get you in a car. Okay, you want to work on the one-to-one plan. So date those parties. If you need help dating those parties, you want to make sure that you go back and watch some of those videos that I made earlier this week. But you want to get that football challenge out. I have a football challenge out. I want you to work that. I want you to take that and go, okay, who do I know that doesn't like football? Who do I know that does like football? And what you're going to do is you're going to use that paper and go, okay, let me see. My friend Cindy, back to Cindy again. Cindy does not like football. So I know I'm going to call her, and this is what I'm going to say. Hi, Cindy. This is Debbie calling. I'm so excited. I had to give you a call. You haven't had a Tupperware party for me, or you haven't had one for a long time. And I know I probably mentioned it to you before, but I have to call you because I have a challenge. I'm excited. I have a challenge. 2 magic words. The other thing is I want to tell you is I have a challenge, and it's to date somebody that does not like football. And you're the only one I can think of right now that does not like football. And I have a challenge to date someone that does not like football. Is there, I have Tuesday of this week open, or Friday of next week. If you were going to do a party, would you want to do a Tuesday or a Friday? You just assume, okay? Then you call somebody, okay, who likes New York Giants? Oh, hi, this is Debbie calling. I'm so excited. I just wanted to give you a call. I have a challenge, and I was thinking of you because isn't your husband a New York Giants fan? He is. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because I have a challenge to date a party with somebody that is a New York Giants fan, or their husband is. Okay, so what you do is you use that sheet. If you don't want to use that sheet, do your own sheet. Another thing that you might do is look at the Tupperware brochures and flyers page. And when you look at that page, you're going to see there's all kinds of dating games that you can do. You could do a snowball. You could do a snowball challenge. Actually, I'm looking at doing something like that in the future here, real close. But there's some different things out there with snowballs piled on top of each other, and put numbers on the snowballs, and then have gifts that go with each number. And you know, your goal is to date 5 parties between now and in the next 30 minutes or next 45 minutes. You might go, Debbie, date 5 parties in 45 minutes. I had somebody date 7 parties in 1 hour. And I'm not kidding you. All she did was she got on the phone and she goes, I have a challenge. I did blah, blah, blah. And she did text. She did, you know, she did private message, but she called too. And if she didn't get a hold of him, she just said, I know I didn't get a hold of you, but I got 24 hours. I really need you to help me. And then give them 2 dates that you could actually start their party or do their party. And then tell them you're holding those dates for them. You just got to sound excited, and you got to just, and sometimes we feel like, oh, it's January. I feel like the pit. What am I even doing in this business? I mean, everybody, you know, but this is honestly, I would tell you, I'm telling you, they want to have parties these 2 weeks and the first 2 weeks of February, wherever you put them in there. But of course, you want to get them in January. But if you can't get them in the first 2 weeks of January, you better get them in, especially the first week of February. And the other thing is, why is this a good time? The hostess credit is amazing. Secondly, the sales are epic. That's Allison's word. And the third reason is, this is the time of year you have no competition unless you live in Florida, because nobody's going to a picnic, nobody's going to a graduation party, nobody's going to Easter dinner, nobody's going to Christmas dinner, nobody's going to, you know, there's not a bunch of weddings going on. There's nothing going on outside. People are bored. People have nothing to do. And this is an awesome time to have parties with them. So you want to think of heat. You might want to think about Mexican fiesta parties. And I'm going to challenge all of you too. I got a really neat thing. I couldn't get it to come up on Facebook. And thank you, Amanda Casella, for trying. But my friend Nancy did this demonstration last night. It was so awesome. Demo, she had recipes, she had dating ideas. It was so awesome, but I can't get it to share on my page from her group. So and I copied it. I copied the link. She took it. I think she must have it like under some kind of privacy thing. So I'm going to actually, after this, I'm going to video my screen on my computer and then shoot it up onto, I might actually do it on Facebook Live. But it's amazing. It really is. So, but it really is so anyway, so you want to get excited, because parties, that's the number one thing you want to do is date parties and just invite people to come in. If you asked, I think there was a survey that was done. I think it was 50 people, 50, I can't remember the number. Anyways, it was amazing. They said, they took like 50 people and said, okay, why have none of you had a Tupperware? Tell me why why have you not had a party? Over 45 of the people are, I think there's more than that. I don't know the exact number, but I'll tell you what, the reason they said they didn't have one is they never were asked. So if you don't talk to somebody and invite them to have a party, they're not going to have one. It's an automatic no. So you got to get out of your comfort zone and say, what have I got to hurt? You know what? This is the problem. Sometimes you start thinking like you're bugging people, which, you know, some people think that. The only time you're bugging or being pushy is if you're thinking about you, like you're really like, I got to date a party, you know. But if you're thinking about, oh my gosh, this is what you got to do, is turn your mind around and go like this. Oh my gosh, if she calls me in the middle of February and says, I want to have a party, and I didn't tell her about this double credit now, and Debbie said there's going to be amazing there's no double credit in February. You know, there's amazing gifts in February, and I never told her, I'm hurting her. You got to look at it like it's bad. Like you are like leaving her out. Or how about someone that says they need money, but you never even talked to them about selling Tupperware? Like, hello, they need money, and you're not even offering them an opportunity to say yes or no. And I'll never forget my fundraiser I did. Well, I didn't do it. I'll tell you this too. I know they've told a lot of stories tonight, but I think you need to hear this for some reason. But I started going to a new church, and this was probably 15 years ago. I went to this new church, and I loved the new church, but I never told anybody I was selling Tupperware. And then a couple people found out I was selling Tupperware, and then a few more knew I was selling Tupperware, and then a few more knew I was selling Tupperware. But I never asked anybody to buy Tupperware, because I didn't want them to think I'm coming to church as a platform to date Tupperware parties. Although I'm sure God wanted me to be successful, or I would have not been placed into Tupperware. So anyways, So I go to this women's Bible study one morning, and one of the ladies says to me, and they had really been, oh, they were working so hard to get these kids to go on this missions trip. And this one family was really trying to go there for a lengthy amount of time. And they were doing all kinds of fundraising. They were doing everything to get people to, they really were in desperate need of getting more money for this. So this lady comes up to me, which I became really pretty good friends with. And she says, and her name was Brenda. She says, Debbie, oh, guess what? I said, what? She goes, I'm so excited. Guess what? We're going to be doing a Tupperware fundraiser. And I said, I was like, oh, you are? She goes, yes. She goes, we got it set up with this person. I forget her name was, and her name was Nancy Yerger. She goes, we got the fundraiser set up with Nancy Yerger, and she's going to do it for us. And I'm so thankful because, oh my gosh, we have been, praying. I'm praying to get more fundraisers, and she called us, and we were, and she sent some information, and so we're doing a fundraiser. And I know you're with Tupperware, so I just want to let you know that we're excited about that. Well, I left, and I got home, and I was so worked up, and I thought, I can't believe, here I am. How thoughtless was I, how selfish was I that I didn't even offer them a Tupperware fundraiser? What do these people think of me because I never offered them a Tupperware it was the opposite of what you think. And so I had to call her and tell her, I apologize, and explain to her that I didn't want to use Tupperware as a platform. But in the meantime, it taught me an important lesson. You know what? I can't make decisions for other people. If I have something that's awesome and great and it's going to help somebody, I'm going to offer it to them. And if it's going to help somebody that can't afford to buy Tupperware because they think it's pricey, and I don't have the nerve to say, well, why don't you think about having a few friends over? I'll even bring 3 ingredients and make a cake, and you can get it for free or for half price. So, never put yourself in that position. Okay, enough of my little stories. Okay, now, number 1, this is to-do list. Y'all got your to-do list. If you watched any of my other videos or watch the other ones and you have this to-do list, you're adding on to it. The one thing you want to do is, if you haven't done this, is you want to make sure that you go into your Tupperware web office. And I don't know if I have it here. I do have it here. In your web office. And what you're going to do is you're going to go in, and where you place your orders, there's little boxes. And I'm not sure which one it's under, but I think it's under reports, and it says enroll. And you want to make sure that you enroll. I don't care if you just came in today, you enroll in the DIQ program. And you don't have to do anything to enroll in it. It doesn't cost you money. It's just a program that when the time comes that you could actually be in a program to become a director, you will be placed in that program automatically. But if you don't enroll in it and a month happens, let's say it's this month and you're not in it, and something happens and you actually have enough sales, and maybe it is a fluky month, maybe something happens and you do get a bunch of sales and something happens and you could actually go in that program, you can't, because you didn't click on that button the month before you did it. So enroll in the DIQ program. Now, what does DIQ stand for? It stands for Director in Qualification. And so that's a program. It's a program to get you to become a director. So you become a manager. Now, how do you become and then to be eligible to go in, you need to have at least $500 in sales that month. You need to have $2,500 in unit sales for you and your unit, you and your people. So if you need at least 3 consultants to be, you need at least 3 consultants in your unit to be a manager. So you're going to have, wait, I goofed this up. Forget this. You need 1 or more personal parties. You need $2,500 or more in sales. That is right. You need 6 personal recruits. You need 6 people that you brought into the business that you brought in. And those 6 people need to be active. So they need to have sold 250 in the last 4 months. So you really need to be a star manager. When you're a star manager, you could be, and then what you need is you need $7,500 in dream team sales. Now, dream team, you might go, what is a dream team? A dream team is not only you and your personal recruits, it's you, your personal recruits, and their recruits. So I am going to see, and there's a little button that you can click on. Let me just see how much time I got here. Okay. I'm going to see if I can go to this here real quick here. So I'm going to go in here and let me get out of here. Okay, I'm going to go to another site. I'm going to one of our, trying to think of somebody else I could, you know what, that's not going to help. Okay, anyways, let me just see if I can do this. So, yeah, here we go. There's actually, well, I'll show you where it's at. And you all, I think, will have it. Oh, wait, I don't want you to see this. Oops, well, you can see it. There you go. Okay, no, oh my, what am I seeing? Okay, there is, this isn't gonna work. Okay, I'm gonna go to my team and I can't do it. Actually, there's a little button up here in this area that says Dream Team. So you wanna look at your Dream Team sales. That's what you wanna do. But it's actually you and all your recruits and all their recruits and all their recruits. So they all count towards that 7,500. So you might be a manager getting paid for 2,000 or, you know, for 5,000 in sales, but your team can be selling 10,000. So, you know, until you're a director, like for instance, if you take, I'm just going to share somebody with you, Noreen Armbruster. Noreen Armbruster is a Tupperware manager, and she has a manager underneath her, which is Amanda Kirkland. Amanda Kirkland has 6 recruits, but Amanda Kirkland has people underneath her that actually Noreen is not getting to count, because they are more than 3 levels deep. Because as a manager, you make money off of you, your recruits, and 3 levels below you. But as a director, you get paid on your personal recruits, all the way down until another director. Okay, so that's how that works. And then to achieve director, how do you become a director? You hold one party a month, which, you know, I all told you want to try to go for 4,000 a month. And 4,000 a month is just about, if you think about that, 4,000 a month is, if you figure that 8 parties out, if you figure 3 hours a party, that's 24 hours away from home if you're doing demonstrations a month, not a week, but a month. So, you know, you got lots of time. And then what happens is, to achieve director, you have, okay, you sell 250, at least 250, or 500, excuse me. You have 60 or more standard parties in 3 months added together. So if you look at that, 60 parties, that's 30,000 in sales. So that's 10,000 a month. You and all your recruits and their recruits and their recruits sell 30,000. And then you have 2 people in your dream team that are managers. So you need 2 managers, 30,000 in the last 3 months added together, and you sold 500 that month, you become a director. But to become a DIQ and get in the program, you only need 15 parties for you and your dream team. But you just want to recruit and sell and get more and more confident. And then to maintain being a director, you just want to continue to sell 10,000 and have 500 personally. At Celebration Sales, I'm going to share with you, you have 4, some people go, what happens if I don't make it? Well, what happens is you have 4 months as a director or as a manager during a calendar year that you can miss that level of qualifications. When January hits, you start all over. So let's say somebody last month, I'm not saying it, I don't even know, but let's say some manager missed 2 months, or a director missed 2 months and didn't hit 10,000, then January resets the whole clock. And so whatever level they're at, they have four times that they can miss it. And if they miss it, they get paid at the level that they accomplished. So, and at the 4th month, whatever level that is, whatever that level is at the 4th month, they go back to the level they actually were that particular month. So, and then you make 25% profit. And then also from your personal sales, you get your bonuses, just like we mentioned. There's the 4,000. And then this is how much money a director makes. Oh my, this is exciting. Okay, look at here. So every month you and your team sell $20,000 or more, you make an 8% bonus on the on the paid on CV, or whatever, I forget that it stands for. It's with the 25% off. And then when you hit 15,000 to 20,000 or 19,999, it's 7%. 10,000 to 1499, you're making 6%. And then also when you become a new director, you get a $1,000 cash bonus. And Tammy's on tonight. She got her $1,000 cash bonus. And your director that promoted you gets a $1,500 cash bonus. And that's exciting. And then the other neat thing, these were the other numbers, 6, 7, and 8% you make. So you can, those numbers I told you, that those 5 numbers. The fourth number is down here in what's your drive, because when you're selling $12,500 as a Tupperware director, and you sell that 3 months in a row, your dream team hits 12,500 3 months in a row. They say, hey, Stacy Smith, do you want a free car with your insurance, your license plates, your fees? The lease, the license plates, the taxes, the fees, all paid for. Every 2 years, we'll roll in a new car for you. Or do you want to take a cash option? So you could take more cash there, or you could take a car. And then there's other levels of cars too, because when you and your team sell a total of $300,000 for a 12-month period, that's when you move up to the Traverse. Now, just to give you an idea, let's look at this for a second. There was not one month Cindy Turner missed 20,000. Every month her team was over 20,000 for the year. Now her team sold 400,000. So let's figure this out. How much did Cindy Turner make? We all want to know on her team. So if we take, if I can just find my calculator on here, this would be good. Okay, so if we take 400,000 and she gets paid on the, I forget what that word is called, but it's the commissionable volume. It's down there at the bottom. So she gets paid on 300,000. So 300,000, right, times 8% is $24,000 she made just on her team sales. Plus, she's driving a brand new Chevy Traverse. Another new one's coming in February for, and then plus all the money that you make from your, I can't even speak, from your personal sales, woohoo, and all the gifts you get, and all the challenges you get, and all the trips you get, and everything. So, so I want to thank you for being on tonight, and I want to share with you that, just real quick here, let me go back to the Tupperware site a second. You can get off if you want to, but I just want to show this to you in case you didn't know where this was at, because we all have this fabulous new Tupperware Salesforce site that nobody can find many things on. But I will tell you, it has an amazing search bar. And if you haven't tried that search right here, it really does bring up everything. I love it. But I wanted to share with you, because some people don't notice this. We go down here. This For You category. Oh, I love this. For You, because this is where you can see the party perks. Here's the What's Your Drive program. And let's see, is it coming up? Did it come up? Maybe it did. Wait, let me just see here. What's your drive? Yeah, what is your drive? Oh, car pro. Oh, okay, let's see here. Maybe I didn't go to the right place. We go back. But anyways, those cars are awesome. I think I clicked too much. Here, let me put in here, Dream Driver. Dream Driver. Let's see. Oh, here, this is good. Here we go. What's Your Drive car program? Here's all about being a manager. Here's all the benefits. If you don't know this, Staples, there's an awesome discount at Staples for printing that you get done. Vista Print, there's all kinds of discounts. This talks about the 52 parties. Can I give a big shout out to Tina Wolf and Tammy Kemery for hitting 52 parties for the year? I think that is amazing. That is awesome. Yes, 52 Tupperware parties. It's one party a week, and they did it. I don't know why I can't. Here it is. I guess I couldn't read English. I was looking at it in Spanish and in, I don't know if this shows a picture of it, though. I was looking at it in Spanish and French. But anyways, but it's all in there. So I want to thank you again for getting on. And I'm going to shut my tape off because 37 minutes is up. Let me just stop recording. Um,